Good morning, guys, and welcome to week 46 of the fire journey. It's just after 10 a.m. on Tuesday, the 21st of February 2023. I was actually just doing a creator survey that YouTube has decided to offer me and offer me the ability to express myself on well, I've completed most of it. I've got to question 19. Any other comments on the impact YouTube has had on your life and livelihood? So I did point out that the unwarranted censorship imposed on what was frankly fair comment at the time and has since proven to be factual information in relation to what YouTube deemed medical misinformation was disgusting. The suppression of key individuals, in particular I'm thinking of people like, but not excluded to, Professor Dolores Cahill. The shadow banning really should have no place on social media, because there were people who were outright deleted. There were videos that were just taken down. But there were other occasions where somebody said something that didn't fit with the narrative, and rather than necessarily being removed or whatever, the visibility of those videos was vastly reduced. In fact, I forget who it was, but I did see somebody who was credible saying recently that they had they had conducted an interview with someone, they had posted it, and even after they had posted a video themselves, they had difficulty in finding it in search results. So obviously these people would have known what to search for. They would have known what title they had given the video and so on, but yet when they tried to search for it within YouTube, they had difficulty locating it. That's what shadow banning is. It's basically where there's a deliberate suppression of information because of some policy somewhere. So as I say, I don't think that should have any place on social media. Where someone, now, to be fair, where someone is suspected of an offence, then I do support police investigation into that. But the way your platform YouTube has allowed itself to be used to further a globalist, self-serving elite is frustrating, to say the least. Actually, it's highly annoying, or I'm expressing a degree of dissatisfaction / anger. It is more than undemocratic. Nobody elected these officials in the WHO and so on. They are there. They are where they are because of what they've done in the past. And as I say there, it was not always positive. Look into your man Ted Ross's past. Find out what he did in Kenya. Bill Gates is not a doctor. Nobody appointed Bill Gates. Bill Gates bought his way into organisations like Gavi or the World Health Organization. He is not there because of any expertise. And as I've said here, it's my personal belief that Fauci should be in jail and that everybody should do their own research. Bottom line. Let's just finish out this survey. So that was the end of that. Oxford Economics. I hope that's got nothing to do with what do you call it? Right here, while I'm at it, let's just let's not. I just want to get the description for this week's video. So I've said for historical reference in the past, couple of days we've seen a further earthquake in the Turkey or Syria region, in addition to the initial one that killed thousands. Not good over there. I actually do know of a guy that we used to work with who had moved out there. In fact, I think he was in the Hatay region, and that appears to be where a lot of the destruction and devastation has happened. So hopefully he's alright. He's not one of these people that I am in touch with, so there's no way of knowing, to be quite honest. The Munich Security Conference began recently, and the sabre-rattling continues surrounding the Ukraine. Basically, there's allegations flying in all directions. Sunak says that Britain will be the first country to provide long-range weapons to the Ukraine. Not our war, but anyway, we're in it seems. And China has been accused of helping Russia. I think this accusation is kind of to do with the suggestion that they might supply Russia with equipment, weapons, that sort of thing. And I think actually they've been accused of already of providing intelligence. So make of that what you will, but quite frankly, it looks as if it looks as if the global elite want a nuclear war, and in fact I have ordered a Geiger counter just in the past couple of days from Amazon. Now, what I will say on Geiger counters is there appears to be a variety of quality in terms of how well they work out there. If you are inclined to get a Geiger counter, do your research first. Look into people who are testing them to see which ones are effective and which aren't. Because at the end of the day, there's no point in having a device that you think is going to keep you safe and then discovering that it doesn't actually meet your needs. So all that to one side, let's have a look at the market. Today the market's down about almost 1% so far. This week down overall compared to this time last week, and up just over 5% for the month, and for the year that's roughly 6%. So as we know, historically the market usually produces a slightly better than 10% return per year. This sort of past year, although we're talking 5% here, as you can see from where its previous growth was, the market has stagnated, and I would expect that if this is the recovery that I think it is, I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see a 20 or 30% increase in value in the next 12 months. But that remains to be seen. So guys, let's go ahead and buy our weekly £120 worth of stock in the S&P 500 on the Vanguard version of the S&P 500 that I'm buying. We're buying about 1.88 shares. I think last week was 1.86. So that just lets you see the very slight difference. So we will go ahead and execute that. Just before I execute it, so the portfolio value at present 5634, just so as we'll be able to see if it updates. To me that looked as if that updated down the ways. How can that be? I don't understand what just happened there. Down at the bottom here I've got 5727. this figure here is erroneous in my view. Well, I can see that the dip has increased slightly. It's minus 0.9 now, whereas before it was 0.8 something. Okay, so this hasn't updated. Down here we've got 5727. The live result is 87.98 in the green. So the portfolio is currently looking about 1.5% better than the total value invested in it to date. As I say, it's early days. We're week 46, so not even at the year mark yet. If you got any suggestions as to what I should do to mark the 1 year anniversary of the Fire Journey, please feel free to put that in the comments below. That would be very interesting to read about. And while we're at it, let's just have a look at the notifications that we haven't seen as yet. So that's the order I've just put through. Deutsche Börse, I'm thinking, is that the German stock exchange? Not sure if I've ever heard what it's called before. Anyway, it declines 3.5% in response to Jeffrey's Holes rating. Okay, that means absolutely nothing to me. Raiffeisen Bank drops 7.5% as US sanctions authorities probe its Russian business. That'll have something to do with the Ukraine and all that stuff. Hot update, biggest stocks before earnings. Okay, this makes a bit more sense to me. Walmart, Medtronic, Home Depot, BioCryst Pharmaceuticals. And there's an upcoming holiday. Oh, that was yesterday. Okay, alright, so actually US markets were closed yesterday. I hadn't realised that. But that's fine. And this one here, that'll be from the last, yeah, that was from the 6th. The 6th? Hold on a second, I need to look at the history because I find it difficult to believe that the last time I put through an order was as far back as the 6th. That couldn't be right, surely. No, indeed. The last video was on the 17th, and we bought stock on the 17th. I don't know why. Maybe that's just because that had been an unread notification, was it? I'm not really sure. There's the 17th. Ah, right, okay, I understand now. This one here, this actually is the 17th. Whereas this one before here, this is the 6th. Okay, so the two orders appear close together. Right. Okay, that makes a bit more sense now. So just in closing, just in relation to inflation and the cost of things in general, yesterday I had a fairly expensive day. I renewed my house insurance, and it cost me in the region of, let me get this right, £245, and that is for buildings only. Now, just to explain, last year I paid something like £185, and that was for buildings and contents. But what has happened in the interim is that there's been some sort of new database that insurers are using, and what that appears to contain is a more prejudicial outlook, if I can put it that way, of which areas are likely to be flooded. And I have actually looked into the data that's available online. I've looked at my postcode, and it appears as if the reason that my house insurance has gone through the roof is to do with a perceived risk in this database, a risk for, wait for it, standing water. It would be laughable if it wasn't the case that this is the database that all the insurers are working off, and it makes absolutely no difference if you contact them and tell them, look, this is a housing estate, there are 3,000 odd homes in this estate. It has never flooded. We're up a hill in one direction. Yes, okay, there's a very slightly higher piece of land as you would leave this area, but it's relatively small, and on the whole we're up a hill, we're not near a river or anything like that. Our risk of flooding is virtually zero. But as I say, it doesn't matter. Whatever you say to the insurance companies, they will say, we are using this database. This indicates to us that your home is at risk of flooding. Therefore, your insurance, whereas before it was reasonable, now it's not. You need to use an insurer that uses this flood RE scheme, which is clearly another money-making idea that they've had, and there's not an awful lot you can do about it. So yes, I have insured my house, just the building. The contents, quite frankly, are not worth an awful lot, and if they do need to be replaced, well, that's something that I'll just have to take a risk on. But for context, it would have cost me probably another £120 maybe to add the contents insurance onto that 245, and I just simply wasn't prepared to fork out that kind of money for a small 3-bed terrace property. So yeah, that's that. I feel as if the cost of insurance has gone up. I'm not sure if it's gone up across the board for everyone, but certainly where your home has been identified as being in one of these likely to flood areas, you will see a significant increase. And the other big expense that I've had just in the last day as well was for car parts. I think it's the car parts that have increased in cost, because as far as I can see, the mechanic for his labour charged me basically what he would have done in the past. So I'm seeing it's the parts that have gone up. New basically for new brakes and front and back, and sort of parts on the back, just not really the whole thing, but for all that, and a injector seal, we're talking £400. So altogether yesterday I spent something in the region of £650. That will have put a bit of a dent into the cushion that I keep in the in the event that I need to pay off one of these big annual expenses, and in fact I'm going to have to review the amount that I set aside just to make sure that what I've got to one side is still adequate, or is going to be adequate going into the future. To define that a bit better, what I had done in the past was I had worked out the total of my annual expenditure for these one-off bills, and I had multiplied it by 2, and that was the amount of the cushion that I decided I felt I wanted to hold. So there is there is obviously a bit of leeway in it, in terms of the fact that it's multiplied by 2. But yeah, I'm gonna have to I'm gonna update everything and review that figure to see whether I feel I want to keep it as it is, or whether I want to increase it slightly. Guys, that is going to be it for today. Apologies to anybody who happened to catch my first attempt, which didn't go to plan. I'm using OBS Studio for this, and yeah, on the first attempt, basically I messed it up with the transitions. It didn't go as expected, but hopefully this time we are looking more like the thing. That is it for this week, guys. Thank you for watching, and if you enjoy the content, please think about giving the video a like, maybe hitting the subscribe button, and if you want to be notified of future content, hit the little bell, and your application will let you know. Thanks for watching, and have a great end to your day.